right?
I
So
get the indexing, yeah.
yeah, so I'll just put this back. I'll finish this later. We don't need to look at it. So a new thing that they just started doing, I think it was in July, and I've tried it. Right here in this top right, when you get into the main website, is volunteer opportunities, and it gives you fixed place names. And it actually, they really need this done because a lot of people don't have standardized locations, and so
Where
it
did you see
doesn't link
that?
them.
Where do you find that?
Just as soon as you go to familysearch.com or .org, their website looks like this, and
It's on your homepage. Okay.
it's right there.
Okay, so show me. Go in and do it.
So you try it. It gives you this little description. It'll do it every time, even if you're doing a bunch in a row. And you can pick particular states. I just do them all. I don't pick any in particular. Europe or England gets actually pretty complicated because they have all their shires and their counties and all that weird stuff. Hold on. Hello, but you'll just click review the 10. Hi. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Are you okay?
These are your videos for today.
Oh, hi.
For you? You sure? Okay. You sound irritated. You sound irritated. I don't understand. I don't care if you're not feeling good, if you're already on your way home, stop by somewhere and get your own food. I don't know why I have to get up and go somewhere to get you food if you're coming home. That doesn't make sense.
Is that what she was calling for?
Yeah, she wanted me to. She says she has a migraine, and she's on her way home from an eye doctor appointment where they're saying she's gonna have to have surgery again.
No.
That's all fine, but I mean, you're on your way home. Just stop and get food. Why do I have to stop?
Go out to get food when you're already out, yeah.
And she's going to because I said I'm still on the call, so thankfully. Anyway, so they only give you 10 at a time. You'll just always pick them if you pick 10 in a row. You can skip if you don't want to do a particular place, but we're just looking at Paddington, Greater London. So Paddington in the Greater London area is just going to be like a mini suburb kind of place. Right off the bat, you can just try to pick one. And so they'll pop up like this, and we're looking at the different options that come up with that date. Now they wrote it with commas and everything, which is, it's weird that sometimes it doesn't pick it as a standardized place, but it just does that. So we're looking at 1874. So in particular, you don't want to pick a place like this that's out of the time range, because this place they're saying on record existed from 1200 to 1801. We're talking about this person being born in 1874, so we'd probably want something more like this where it's after 1801.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't the right place. This is in Lancashire, Salford, Lancashire, instead of in London.
Right.
So we can look at the top. I mean, this one is 1889, so it's just right outside, but it'd probably be very close to this. But it's very easy to just open a place up like this in Google Maps and look to see what we've got. So I open it up in Maps, and you can see this is a tiny little suburb. I mean, it's even smaller than a suburb of, I don't know what you would call it. These are just old shire county like municipalities.
Movie and everything.
What?
But it has its own movie and everything. I'm just kidding.
Movie? Oh, Paddington.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look out, I mean, this is, sorry, I zoomed way out.
You did.
This is London itself, and we're talking about just this little tiny 5-block place. It looks like it's mostly just a train station.
Hospital and a train station.
Yeah. So, but that's where they're saying that this person was born back in 1874. So you'll see it's saying Paddington, London. You can just pick this and copy that and try to come back over here and just paste it and see what it says. And it's still just picking that same spot. So we don't have one that's exactly covering 1874, but we're just going to go ahead and pick that one because that's where it's saying it. We'll say continue. So now we're moving to Monmouth, England. And this one, they don't actually care that there's a space right there. So this is still technically should work. But Lentio Cresceni is probably actually, yeah, see, it's saying it's for a christening location. This is actually probably the name of like a church where it happened. And so they don't see that place. You can't, well, it actually is right there. But this is out of the time. But this is actually probably exactly what you would pick. But because you see right there, it says it's a parish. Well, so this one works. You can actually pick this one. So this is what they want. It's a parish where they got christened. So this is just a residence. So we'll just look at this. Like West Riding written like that. It's not on any of their places. So we'll look at Petovens, Yorkshire, England. We're looking at this time frame. This one works. So, but that's a parish. So we'll actually want a location. Petovens. I wonder if we'll just go back over here and exit actually and say Petovens. I can't remember if it was an A or E.
It's an E.
Petovens. And it was Yorkshire. And they don't actually have that. So
There's more
let's push enter and see what it does. Petovens. So Stanley, I don't know what Stanley Cum is. They've got the Renthorpe. Well, we're not even looking for Renthorpe. Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So there's Renthorpe. So let's just try actually to put this part without, well actually let's leave the West Riding out. We'll just do this and leave out the Petovens. And it just picked like the same spot. So that's what we're looking for. So let's go back here and we'll leave out the Petovens and just put that in. We've got Stanley, Yorkshire, we've got Wren. We'd want to pick this over this because this is a village and Stanley must be the parish there. So we'll just pick this, it's in the right time frame. So no, we got that village of Renthorpe, Yorkshire, England. And we've got Czechoslovakia. So this is going to be trickier because they've got the native characters, and so it doesn't translate when somebody from America or whatever writes it like this.
Because we don't know.
And so we can't actually tell. It's super hard to see that. So it's definitely better to look this one up in Google too, because we'll be able to find it, make sure that's actually a place. And it doesn't like that writing, but it does give us this Renoltis. And that was an option here, Renoltis. Jabalon.
It's not in
it's not in the right time frame. So none of these are in the right time frame. So another thing you can do, and I also keep them open for this, is look up the places not in a map, but in the Wikipedia. And we want it to say Ringelshane because that's what they picked. Let's see, Antonio was born in Ringelshane, so that is a place. They had 3 children. It's interesting that it's not liking Ringelshane when it is an actual place. So this is a good example of where it can be a puzzle trying to figure out what the place that they want. So Ringelshane, Renoltis, this is a government page. Let's see. Okay, so they're saying that it's the same name. Ringelshane is in Dutch and Renoltis is in Czech or whatever, right? So we can just come back to here and know that this Renoltis is what it's talking about. So we'll just pick Renault, well, but it's out of the time frame. But I don't know what the Namek is.
It does say it down there. That's the rural country.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna pick that Namek or this one. That's closest. Now the only thing that probably really changed is that in 1918, Namek became part of Bohemia, Czechoslovakia. So back in 1884, it was probably Renultis, Jablon, Namek, Czechoslovakia, and then in 1918, Bohemia took over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, if it doesn't like that. I mean, we could try writing it again. Jablon with a comma there. And see, it doesn't change it. It still only gives us this. I'm gonna click that. We got Bohemia itself, right? So this isn't gonna, we can't really do anything.
Bohemian.
Yeah, we can't really do anything except for pick the country part of it, right? The region.
Bohemian is not a country.
Right. Well, it says it's an alternate name, so they got you there. But we could pick Bohemian, Nebraska. So yeah, so this one actually, because there is that Bohemian, Nebraska, we're not gonna actually pick a place because we don't know this person. I mean, I guess technically we can look the person up.
Just says Bohemian.
Right, but if he has relatives or something.
All of his ancestors do.
Yeah, so it says Bohemian and it wants this fixed. And so technically this is what you're doing. When you get to it, when somebody goes to their page and you got this exclamation mark right here, you can just come here and edit this and fix the standardization right here. But that's technically what you're doing when you come to here and you're doing this, is you're helping find a bunch of these that have bad names. But let's look at Julius Barch married Anne Frieder. We'll look at Frieder and see if she has a location. She does not. So we'll look at their kid, see if they have a date. So that's New York. So it's actually more likely that it's the Bohemian, Kentucky than it is New York. Possibly. But we don't know. So I'm actually just going to skip this one. Somebody else can figure that out on their own. We'll skip that one. We're back in Czechoslovakia. We've got Libanu. Put it back in the map, see where this says it is. We've got it, Sokolov. That is an option.
Way out of the time zone, though.
Yeah. Sokolov, Falknov, Nadary is a town in the Karlovy Vary region until 1948. So when we're looking at this, it was in that old time. So what we're going to look for, based on this, is Sokolov, Falknov, Nadary, which is what they wrote, except for it's got the characters in it. And so see that. This doesn't see any Sokolov. Or, well, what we want is to write that Sokolov. I wonder why I beat it, just because it has this. So I wonder if Libanu was just part of Sokolov. Libanu, and then before, okay, so it says this was part of that before 1867.
Yeah, it's definitely before 18.
Let's look at Sokolov and see what happens if we put that in. On a new timelines. But let's just try Libanu and see what it does with that. We're in Austria, which is fine because Bohemia is part of Czechoslovakia in current times. But none of these, this was an option that it had before. See, there's an alternate name, Libna. Says it's Libanu.
Which is what we're looking for. It's just way out of the time zone.
Mom's almost home.
Jason.
What is Naya gonna do?
Daddy.
Oh God. So I'm gonna click this just for now to get it popped up, and then I want to copy this and see what it's saying this place is. And now if it's close, we should actually see the screen. Well, it totally changed. So we don't really want that.
It's way different.
If they're close to each other,
Right, then you know.
where we are, we're on the very top right of Czechoslovakia, right? So now if we put back in the other name
Dad.
and compare that, it totally changes. So now let's see where that's at. It's all the way across the country. So we're not wanting Libna Nakad.
No.
So you don't want to save and continue because you can't go back. And then that'll actually change it on that person's record. So we want to click this and go back. So it looks like Sokolov is going to be a better option definitely than Libna, even though it's out of the timeline. Unless we wanted to just try each of these to see how close they are, but it does say it's well, both of these documents say that Sokolov is
It's the same
part
place.
of the Okno Nadori, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick Sokolov.
Yeah.
And now we're in Slovakia, and that just gives us a straight up place. The time is
All the timeline.
out. That may be our only option still. Fix that. We're Slovakia. Balan.
Did you give them vegetables?
What?
They need vegetables with it.
Girls.
This one is a little village in this Dunkestreda. It is correct. They just didn't know what it was before 1922, I guess.
Well, it goes from Slovakia to Czech, so
Oderin, this one's correct again, just a different date. That's the same again.
No.
And then this one's gonna be different. So we'll have to look this one up again. Horsovsky-tin. We'll just make sure again by going here. It will ask us if that's what we meant. No, that's not what we meant. We've got the Naya. Where you going? Hey, Naya. Don't go out there. Naya. I think she just snuck out the front door. Thermoslis. Zoom.
Jason, look.
to go get her.
I'm gonna have to, yeah. Okay, anyway, so what you can keep going and I'll let you do 10 more. We'll get out of that. You can see that one actually is puzzles. They don't track the numbers, so you can't know how many you've done of that, but it's definitely helpful. Let me get Naya real quick.
Yeah, you're good.